Let's talk about conditionals. Conditional sentences are also known as conditional clauses or if clauses. They are used to express that the action in the main clause, without if, can only take place if a certain condition in the clause with if is fulfilled. There are four kinds of conditional sentences: zero, first, second, and third conditional. Let's start with the zero conditional. This conditional is used with facts and general truths, rules, scientific laws, habits and routines, and instructions. You can usually replace if with when or whenever. For example, you can say, if I'm in town, when I'm in town, or whenever I'm in town, I visit my family. You can also use unless instead of if not. Unless it's raining, I usually go for a walk. In terms of structure, you use the same tense in the if clause and in the main clause. So you use if or if not or unless with the present simple, and then you keep using the present simple. If you heat water to 100 degrees, present simple, it boils, present simple. Now let's talk about the first conditional. We use the first conditional to talk about possible situations that can really happen at present or in future. To build the first conditional, you use the present tense in the if clause and the future will plus infinitive in the main clause. If we catch the 7:35 train, we will arrive on time. You can use be going to instead of will. For example, if you're not watching this, I'm going to turn off the TV. You can use the imperative in the first conditional. If you are dirty, go and have a bath. You can also use modal verbs. If you aren't hungry, you can get down from the table. Now, second conditional. The second conditional is used to speculate about situations that will probably never happen at present or in future. Let's see how to form the second conditional. You can do it using if plus past simple and would plus bare infinitive in the main clause. If I won $50 million, I would buy a tropical island. You can form the second conditional using if plus past simple and a modal verb in the main clause. If I knew his address, I might go and see him. You can not only use the simple past in the second conditional, but you can also use the past continuous. So you use if plus past continuous in the if clause and would plus bare infinitive in the main clause. For example, if you were doing things, you wouldn't be so bored. Last but not least, the third conditional. We use the third conditional to talk about situations that happened or did not happen in the past. So these are unreal or even impossible conditions because they are in the past and we cannot change what has happened. You can form the third conditional by using the past perfect in the if clause and would plus the perfect infinitive in the main clause. The perfect infinitive is formed with have plus the past participle. For example, if they had known, they wouldn't have taken their cars. You can also form the third conditional with modal verbs. So, if plus past perfect and modal verb plus perfect infinitive. Let's look at the example. We didn't save any money. If we had saved some money, we might have bought the house. You can also make conditional sentences by changing the word order in the if clause. These are called inverted conditionals. They are less common, quite formal, and are mostly used in writing. For example, instead of saying, if he had booked the hotel room, we say, had he booked the hotel room, he wouldn't have slept at the camp. If is the most frequent expression in the if clauses, but other expressions are also possible. Let's get to know them. On condition that, for example, we will sell you the car on condition you pay in cash. Unless you do something, she won't come back. Even if, for example, you will leave tonight even if you don't want to. Provided that. You can have your birthday party, provided that you aren't noisy. In case. For example, you should take a dictionary with you in case you forgot some words.